Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. As I had a slight mishap there in my production doings, and you saw my face briefly, a little bit confused and bemused. But regardless, we're going to be getting into Marine versus GunGFuBanDa very soon. I found myself a lovely little ESL Meisterschaft pin here, so we can actually just jump in pretty quickly, as they've already started the proceedings. So without further ado, let's jump straight on into our first game here. In this best of 5, as you do have spawning up to the top left-hand corner, is, of course, GunGFuBanDa. And let's raise the volume as well, so you can hear what is going on. And then, of course, down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have Mr. Marine. All right, solid stuff as we get into our next best of 5. Both of these players had the craziest of times in WCS recently. GunGFuBanDa, obviously, able to qualify through against no less than Naniwa. And that was quite the victory there. Naniwa kind of called him out and didn't really mean too much, to be honest with you, because that's just Naniwa. But... And then on the other side, of course, you've got HeRoMaRinE, who was so close, scraped the very edge of WCS Premier, but unfortunately was unable to get and attain that position in WCS, whereas GunGFuBanDa obviously did. So, a lot of people are expecting HeRoMaRinE, or Marine, whatever you want to call him, to eventually do very well in StarCraft 2. Maybe even advance on to Premier and do well there. But at the moment, it's not been done. It's not been so successful. Ooh, GunGFuBanDa already in this best of 5, opening up in a bit of a cheeky way. So we'll be looking for what looks like a proxy. I mean, the double gas already coming in this quickly is a big signification of going for something like this. And is it going to be Twilight Council or is it going to be Stargate? What is your choice here, GunGFu? Doesn't quite have the minerals and gas lineup to do this just yet, but the thing is that this Reaper is going to get in, have a look around, see only one pylon, and be like, "You what, mate?" That's exactly what he's going to say. 100%. So, Stargate. It's in a bit of an odd spot, I must admit. Oh, Twilight Council. Okay, the positioning is more Twilight Council friendly than it is Stargate friendly. Obviously, Stargate is not really getting over there any quicker. But the thing is now, the Reaper, he's seen one pylon. Surely he could just scout around and anticipate that something crazy is going on. I mean, that's why we have the SCV already going up to the right. Oh, sorry, the Reaper, second Reaper going up to the right-hand side to just spot if anything is going on up there. And SCV is just going to dart back on in and have a little look around. But I think it was already fended off here by a Stalker, as obviously the Stalker doesn't want to change the SCV to the proxy location, as it will be blinked to start things off. So already a bunker going down here for HeRoMaRinE, having none of it. And I wonder if this is GunGFuBanDa's go-to throughout the entire series. Just kind of more aggressive standards, more aggressive moves. This map's not too bad for Blink. You can pressure the ramp whilst also, like, trying to look to blink into your opponent's main base as well. There's a lovely little ledge, a lovely little cliff that you can use to do that. The all-important thing is that the SCV or the Reaper or wherever it is, the Reaper to the bottom left just caught a probe. So he's going to see this now. As he does skirt on past it with that Reaper up to the top left, but our observers are not showing that at the moment. So he has seen it. He's seen everything that's gone on. I was going to say he needs to see the fact that there is no natural expansion. But after seeing the Twilight Council down to this left-hand side where it actually is, it's kind of, yeah, you know what's going on from this point on. He made a missile turret in his main base just to be completely safe against a Stargate, if that were to be the case, but it's not at the moment, so... Doesn't have that many Marines out at the moment. He hasn't really changed anything up considering he's seen this Twilight Council already. But likewise, GunGFuBanDa has gone over to a Nexus, anticipating that his opponent probably would be well set up and prepared. There's a pylon towards the north of this base, but not too much of a commitment here to Stalkers just yet. There's 3 extra warped in. as he is looking to try and pounce. One siege tank, if that can get out, then that would be great. He sees the expansion now with that Reaper. And also forces the cancellation, or forces the slowdown there of that bunker. Just going to walk straight on past this one, though. And now, he is in a bit of an odd spot. That's a lot of Marines. Just going to have to blink well and trade against them. Only gets himself one Marine. And now there's a siege tank out. So I think GunGFuBanDa kind of has to go back. I don't think there's much more that he can do here with that siege tank out, unless he tries to blink onto it ambitiously. But the bunker is finished in the most important location up on the high ground. So, even Sentry's coming in for the light contain. And he sees the siege tank at the back behind this bunker. Not so easily broken. So it's going to have to be a robo facility behind this. I'm thinking maybe if he could have bust this location, tried to force field the ramp or something like that. But the mothership core is going home, as there's not much more it can really do here. Okay. So, Robo Bay on the way here for GunGfu. As that is the first starport, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I need to see in the base. The thing is I thought he was building a starport right next to the factory beforehand. We'll find out when we end up going and seeing the base in a bit. But if for some reason it was a second, then that would be insane. No, it's not. Okay, cool. I thought he was building one right next to the factory, but it was just a barracks, clearly, as he was just using it for add-ons, etc., etc. So Marine now has got a pretty strong army. And the Robo Bay is in response to knowing that his opponent could have tried to push out, since he only has Blink Stalkers. But I don't think that HeRoMaRine's going to push out just yet. I think he understands that mothership core has been around for a while. It's backed up a lot of energy. Taking his third base is probably optimal, but... oh, okay, there we go. He's going to make it on spot. It makes more sense now with the 2 barracks behind it. I was like, well, why are you going up to 5 barracks before your command center? But he's going to add that on. These Stalkers tried to get a bit more ballsy, but there's nothing there to get. The one siege tank has done its job, and done it well. This Bioforce doesn't have any concussive. I don't think he has concussive, actually. But it doesn't matter too much against the Blink Stalk, because it can always get out. So, this is where the threat really lies here for GunGFuBanDa. He will have a strong force. He will have one Colossus, maybe a second one. But does he allow HeRoMaRiNE any holes? Does he allow anything at all? The separation up of this army. And he's going to come in, he's going to try and jump onto that Colossus. But the back off from GunGfu, knowing that he can't really do that. Just can't sit around there. And at least for GunGFuBanDa, by the time he takes his third base, his Twilight Council will be protected. And that's quite important to start +2 and +3, etc., etc. So you don't want to have to re-spend the money on that. So it's kind of a smart place in essence. Obviously, a Twilight Council doesn't really need to be that close towards your opponent. CVs go for the repair, chilling on out. Widowmine, excuse me, caught that hallucinated Phoenix, but it got its job done. It already saw the third base. He's throwing down a second starport as well now, knowing that the Colossus production is going to be heightened. And really wants plenty of Vikings out to be able to deal with that. Alright, so already got a well-placed defense set up here. Not that many Zealots in the army, actually. So the Widowmines aren't the most amazing of units against that position just yet. Our Observer's going to have to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to be flying near too many missile turrets at all. As for now, HeRoMaRiNE is on lockdown. I don't think GunGFuBanDa has any wind in his sails at the moment for this attack. as we will have just still the dance around. Maybe break down these rocks and keep going from there. And looks like he will be able to just find a better angle. So still well set up here as HeRoMaRiNE. I'm okay, thank you. I don't need any water. I'm all right. I've got some here, actually. I was just a little bit choked up. I wolfed down about half a pizza before, between the breaks, because I haven't eaten anything before this. The GunGFuBanDa is now heavily supply blocked, and HeRoMaRiNE has a huge, huge army here. The second starport really works out very, very nicely. And he has quite the economy behind it, quite a lot of power. 11 Vikings that are just pursuing on forwards, and he doesn't have the anti-air capable of being able to shut down these Vikings before they get their job done. And then once they are dead, he doesn't have any more AoE. He has no AoE damage. GG. Game number 1 swiftly goes to HeRoMaRiNE there, who looks unfazed. Unfazed, to say the least. Good job by HeRoMaRiNE. Both of these players of exactly the same age. I think both of them are 17. They are the new blood of StarCraft. And HeRoMaRiNE played that out to the book. Very standard, very confident, very calm and collected. GunGFuBanDa tried to catch his opponent off guard a little bit there at the start, but it was in vain. All right, so HeRoMaRiNE. The funny thing is HeRoMaRiNE was denied the EPS title last season, and not exactly in the most easiest of fashion there either. I think it was by Showtime in the previous season. Let me just quickly look that up. Yeah, it was against Showtime. The previous season before that, he actually beat Showtime. But in the absolute finals of the last EPS season, he did lose 3-1 to Showtime. And considering he came top of the league, then second in his group to Showtime, and then finally met him in the finals, it was a bit worrying. He defeated GunGFuBanDa in the previous semi-final, though. So this is a rematch of that previous semi-final from EPS Winter 2014, as we get into game number 2 now. As we have spawning up to the north, it's our blue Protoss, representing Planet Key Dynamics. It is, of course, GunGFuBanDa, who has been able to qualify here for WCS recently. In good fashion, stellar fashion. So good stuff by him. See if he can bring back the fight. Let's see if he can power on against quite the foe. And down to the south, we have our Red Terran. Looking to move on to the finals, it is HeRoMaRiNE for Mouse Sports. Who definitely wants another EPS title or ESL Meisterschaft title under his belt. If he were to get one, and just continue his dominance here in the German scene, it would be extremely, extremely good for him. Obviously, though, then, this next step is to get where GunGFuBanDa currently is, which is WCS Premier. GunGFuBanDa's Premier success, or 2 Premier success, came off the back of dealing with Naniwa, as we were saying, in a best-of-5 in Protoss versus Protoss, where he looked very formidable, very strong. But HeRoMaRiNE is a whole other beast, as we will now see GunGFuBanDa going in there pretty early for that scout, making sure that nothing crazy is going on the other side here from HeRoMaRiNE. And 2 gases have been taken for GunGFuBanDa, but I don't think he's into gas as quickly as he was in our first game, as I think we could see a bit more of a normal game out of him, unless he wants to do something slightly aggressive himself or something like that. He could happily propel himself forwards into like a 2-base Colossus push or something, and try and bring the fight to HeRoMaRinE later on. But one thing that HeRoMaRinE does exceptionally well is macro when it comes to 5 barracks. He will hit, say, 150, 160 supply, whilst the Protoss is on about 110, 120. And that's a period in time where the Protoss feels extremely pressured, especially if they have to take the 3rd base on this map, where drops can be so common towards the back bases down to the right-hand side. Hello, Anti-Hero. I heard about your series, and we shall talk later. This is Chillcast, as I say, guys. Huge thanks for tuning in. I understand there's not too many people who are going to be tuning in today because there is DreamHack going on at the moment. But I do appreciate it. And if you want to say hi in the chat, you're more than welcome to, as I am currently looking at that, solo casting, doing the production, doing everything. But having some fun. Because I've cast the Germans for a long, long time now. A long time. And they never really disappoint too much. The finals of the EPSs in the past, and now the ESL Meisterschaft, have always been pretty good games. We have really, really good talent here in Germany. This is better than the train wreck that this DreamHack has been. Oh, well, they'll get it together. I haven't been able to watch too much, I must admit. Being busy and doing other stuff myself. I'm going to watch all the VODs, though, of DreamHack. Probably some good games. All right. Excuse me. So let's see what's going on. Oracle is on the way. He was walling off that little section here just in case anything would try and get up there and scout out. And HeRoMaRinE, has he taken precautions? This is his first engineering base, so he should be able to get some missile turrets up at some point. And no anti-hero, you can't have mech versus mech in the finals because unfortunately your teammate, Goody, has been eliminated. Sorry, buddy. Slight spoilers. Lambo advanced. So let's see. How much is this Oracle gonna do? 3rd command center very quickly. Is that 3rd command center? It looks like it is down to the bottom left. Did I really miss that briefly? Oh, regardless. Yeah, it must be. Because he's got an orbital command in and 2 SCVs producing. So, 3rd command center pretty quickly. And I do like this build on this map here. But missile turret's finished up. Finds a slight weakness on this left-hand side in that mineral line. And will get himself a few more SCV kills. Marines had to be distributed elsewhere, and of course they couldn't quite easily shut that down too fast. But now GunGFuBanDa knows what he's playing against. He sees triple command center. He's not anticipating that being the 1st command center because that would be ridiculous down to the bottom left-hand corner. I am an actor, producer, director, costume man, and stuntman. I could do stunts, but I'm under the impression I'd probably break my leg. And that won't be good. I've never broken a bone in my body, actually, now that I think about it. Everyone always has these valiant stories of how they broke bones because they were skiing down a mountain to escape some kind of lion. But I have never broken anything because I'm a nerd who stays in his house and plays video games. Oh no, GunGFuBanDa. Losing the Oracle's a big deal because now he doesn't really have anything to threaten to keep his opponent in his base. 4 extra gateways. We have the Robo Bay going down as well. That's a big sense of heightened production here to try and rival anything that we're going to see HeRoMaRinE throw onto the field. And that Warp Prism is going to be the next step that he needs to try and keep his opponent back. Because obviously with that Oracle dead, Warp Prism is the next tool to make sure that his Terran opponent is not moving out. And thus he can have that 3rd base up and running nice and fast. Likewise, he's flying his own 3rd base down to a spot and will be able to mine from that pretty darn soon. I'm wondering what the worker count is at. Again, this is a piggyback broadcast, guys, so I cannot check the tabs, unfortunately. But this alleviates a little bit of my stress. Thank you, SC Alaska, for calling me a nerd. I appreciate that. And we will have now the extended thermal lances coming in, as well as blink, as well as +2 armor. So lots of nice upgrades on the way here for GunGFuBanDa. But this is that phase in the game where I said at the very, very beginning of game number 2 that HeRoMaRiNE's production can be very powerful. He's probably got himself, it looks like he should have 5 barracks up and running, but he only had 3 Marines, sorry, yeah, okay, so he does have the 5 barracks. He only had 3 Marauders and 2 Marines in production, so he's slightly missing that cycle. And he's adding on 3 extra barracks, so he's going up to 8 barracks very, very soon, and he's looking to really hit hard with that kind of big, big, big power play. GunGFuBanDa's going to try and buy and sell some time with some Zealots. Only drops off 2, pulls back. And we'll find out very soon if this can really do too much. Thank you for the compliments in chat, guys. Do appreciate that. SC Alaska calling me a nerd. You can tell them off if you really want to. I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. That's quite harsh there, Ash Qatar, but that's fine as well. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, secretly I do know SC Alaska, so it's okay. The German crowd going crazy in the background there for HeRoMaRiNE as well as GunGFuBanDa. And we will find out pretty soon if HeRoMaRiNE can hit this kind of production cycle power that I was expecting from him. The third base on this map, very, very open. Very open. And that is a big, big drop loaded up here for HeRoMaRiNE. He has to be careful. There are some units left back into the natural. And we will see him drop right on in. Onto the Mothership Core, actually. So maybe gutting that down would be nice, but there is a Colossus on the left-hand side that he's not really jumping onto. He should be going onto that one, as opposed to the one on the right-hand side. It was quite isolated, quite exposed, and he loses a lot of his army for that. But he traded off not too badly, because behind this, he has quite a bit of production himself. As we were saying before, 8 barracks worth across 3 bases with those mules as well. I think he should be okay. The only thing he needs to be worried about right now is that dealing with Colossus and Storm all at the same time will be annoying, irritating. So, I don't think Storm was researched, though. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in chat. That's fine by me. I don't think Storm was researched. So, it was going to just be the High Templars for Archons to start things off. Maybe a few High Templars at the back for feedbacks if the medevacs get a little bit too frisky. But this force down to the bottom right here does actually spot this out. And there is actually also an army, a small contingent to the left-hand side here for him, stimming up. He does see it with an observer, though, so he should be able to pull back and deal with that in time. And he's actually going to go for the Nexus here, so quite an ambitious move by HeRoMaRiNE, but I think it's going to work out. Nice pickup there, but really needed to pick up and get out. Sacrificing some of these units for a third base snipe. It's very well done here by HeRoMaRiNE. And I don't know whether he knows the fact that Storm is not there, High Templars are not there, it's only the Colossi. Oh, Auntie. Oh, Auntie. Took double Storms, mate. Doesn't even have a single stamp. Uh-oh, these Colossi, they're very, very out of position here as they're going to try and retreat up onto the high ground. But the army of GunGFuBanDa is just disjointed here everywhere, left and right, not really doing a whole lot at all. And this is going to be shut down pretty easily. The Vikings have done what they need to against the Colossi. HeRoMaRiNE has a huge amount of production at the moment with a Ghost Academy on the way behind this as well. And I'm currently casting alone because Sean is in France for DreamHack. But now, HeRoMaRiNE, all he has to do, I mean, what stops him from loading up and going straight over to the natural? Not a whole lot. Zealot's in his mineral line, but I think even his reinforcements can just finish those off. Really, really well played out game here by HeRoMaRinE. Excuse me. And I think this might be the nail in the coffin here for GunGFuBanDa in game number 2, as HeRoMaRinE has looked very, very strong. He sees a few of those High Templar. Storm is only halfway complete, though, and it's not going to be quick enough to really deal with this kind of power that we're seeing here from HeRoMaRinE, not only on the left, but also the right. Few Immortals on the way just to try and buy any kind of time against this kind of raw savagery that we're seeing from HeRoMaRinE in game 2. GG! Game number 2 goes to HeRoMaRinE, and he is now 1 game away from advancing on to the grand final here at the ESL Meisterschaft. So really, really good stuff at the moment by our lovely HeRoMaRinE. 2-0 up right now. As obviously, we didn't really see GunGFuBanDa stretching his legs. He didn't really gather full momentum in either of these games, to be honest with you. And he's going to have to mix things up. He's going to have to do something a little bit different if he's going to actually deal with HeRoMaRinE. But the funny thing is I say he needs to do something differently, but I mean, what can he do? There's not a whole lot, other than he's already tried his aggressive maneuver in the first game, didn't quite pan out how he wanted to, realized his opponent was on lockdown a little bit too easily, and then in game number 2, tries for a bit more of a macro build. But likewise, that didn't really work out too well either on Varney Research Station, which was a bit of a hindrance. So now we are just waiting for game number 3. HeRoMaRinE 1 game away from advancing on to the finals, who in the round of 8 I kind of pegged as the favorite to win the whole thing. He's been in, I think he's been in 3 of the past EPS championships finals. I wasn't expecting that from our German broadcast. Apparently they're going to a short break. We'll be right back here for the ESL Meisterschaft.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the...
zurück. Ja, wir befinden uns noch in der Mitte des Best of Five zwischen GunGFuBanDa und Marine. Aktuell steht es 2-0 für GunGFuBanDa.
Oh my God,
ja, mal gucken,
it's Melee.
Marine sich da
Alright, let's watch Melee for a bit.
Zurückkommt. Und ja, wir sitzen hier
I'll do some translating for you. Wait, let me turn her down briefly.
Auf jeden Fall auch plötzlich ganz entspannt aus so vor der Kamera.
All right, so Mela's currently asking these people. Actually, no, I can't do this because if I do this, I'm gonna. Okay, if I do this, I'll probably say something inappropriate. All right, we are gonna wait for them to have their lovely chats with other people that are currently here at the studio. Huge thank you for them joining in as well. She's got the biohazard symbol on her arm. That's quite a bizarre tattoo to get.
Interessant.
Oh well.
Wenn ich das mal so ein bisschen ans Herz legen darf. Was macht G-Sync? G-Sync synchronisiert die Bildwiederholungsrate mit dem Prozessor der Grafikkarte, also mit der GPU der GeForce GTX, und das resultiert in einem kompletten Verschwinden des Tearings vom Spielbild, vom Anzeigebild. Und natürlich auch,
the fun thing about this is I know very little German, so I'm not even sure what she's on about. She was on about a graphics card, I knew that much.
Beschäftigt hat, wäre vielleicht auch mal für euch ganz interessant, da mal einen Blick drauf zu werfen. Geht auch einfach mal auf die Nvidia-Seite, lest euch selber ein. Auf jeden Fall ein ganz gutes Ding. Unsere Pro-Gamer haben sich bis jetzt auch nicht beschwert. Also kann da das ein oder andere Gute dran sein.
Ah,
deswegen
wunderbar.
das einfach mal aus. Wie gesagt, ganz simple Technologie, ne? Bildwiederholungsrate.
Aha, Technologie. Ja. Sehr gut, sehr gut.
Synchronisiert, kein Tearing, weniger ruckeln. So ein Traum, oder? So FPS-Lags sind ja echt doof.
Ja,
auf jeden Fall.
Ja.
Ich danke dir vielmals. Und jetzt will ich gar nicht länger aufhalten. Die nächste Runde steht an. Ich wünsche euch ganz großen Spaß.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one, that was. All right. All right, back into the game. Oh, they're so funny. Oh, that was a funny joke, that was. All right, so we're going to get into game number 3 here very, very soon for the ESL Meisterschaft, as we obviously have HeRoMaRinE currently 2-0 up here in this best of 5, looking pretty damn good himself. I hope you're enjoying out there in Stream World, aka Twitch TV, as I'm having some fun. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. All right, so let's take a look once again at GunGFuBanDa, who is currently in a bit of a bad spot. Not exactly in the best of positions. Fantastico! Not what he's doing right now, unfortunately. German casting is more about entertainment than casting, really. Thank you very much, Alaska, for your opinions. And if you do have any queries, once again, just please send them to your nearest ESL representative. So now let's get into game number 3 to figure out who is going to be moving on, as Marine in the red to the left-hand side is going to be playing against GunGFuBanDa in the right. And in true colours, sporting fashion, we do have spawning up to the left-hand side. It is our red Terran. It is Mouse Marine. 1 game away from the absolute grand final of the ESL Meisterschaft. That guy. Da 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 da. Oopsies. And spotting down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss representing Planet Key Dynamics. Of course, it is GunGFuBanDa. Banda. All right, then. No, sorry, guys. My German is not good. My German is very, very bad. The only things, the very minute things that I learned in German was things like how to ask for, like, Eule im Brötchen bitte, just to make sure that I could satisfy all my Darwinian friends that have joined the Darwinian Club recently and would love to eat owls. So that's my extent of German. I hope you appreciate that. And then I make up other German words, like Grunkenspiel or Grunkenspauten. It does sound German, but actually isn't German. So let's turn the game back up a bit so I can actually hear the damn thing. Okay. All right, so let's get into things. We are on Coda. Coda with the funky music. Actually, I should find the Coda music at some point so I can play it in the next break. That's the one that I'm looking for. That's the word that I'm looking for. So let's YouTube the Coda music that they use on Base Tree TV because it's pretty awesome. Pegboard nerds. All right, I'll play this later on because it's fantastic. Fantastico! Okay, great. So again, guys, I hope you're really enjoying the current cast here. As you can see, I'm super serious right now for the super serious games. Yeah! So, let's have a look. Let's see. What's gone on in terms of this opener? Nexus, after an usual gateway opener, 2 gases. Looks like he's not mining as aggressively with that gas. No, he's not bringing it in like 3x3. Now he is. I think he... Oh, no. He's still in 2x2. I can only see on the minimap as to what's going on. And then what else do we have going on? We have up to the top left, it is Mr. Marine, and he's going currently for a factory. Ooh, looks like we may have a Widowmine play coming out of him, actually, now that I look at it. He was favoring this quite heavily, trying to go up against mana, of course. And we do now have the Twilight Council in an interesting position, and the probe hasn't moved out. Now, generally when the probe doesn't move away from this, it's a Dark Templar opening. But HeRoMaRinE oftentimes does prepare himself well against these kinds of plays, because we normally see him just going for an engineering bay at the correct time, getting himself out missile turrets if he needs them, usually to deal with a Stargate, but it has the added effect, of course, of being able to deal with Dark Templars if you need it. So, Twilight Council Robo Bay facility. Oh, he might go Warp Prism with Dark Templars. Warp Prism Dark Templars? Is that the thing? Dark Templars on the way? Is it going to be the Warp Prismu? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Maybe. Okay. Well, this can work again. I don't think he even got an engineering bay actually behind this, which is a slight oversight here. Wait, did he see the robo facility? Uh-oh. If he saw the robo facility... Oh, he saw the robo facility. He might not read into this properly. And I don't think he is right now. Seeing only the robo facility there is a really, really annoying sign for the Terran in this situation, because now you're like, oh, robo facility? Great. I guess I'm just going to be able to not build an engineering bay for a while and not have missile turrets for a while. The Reaper comes in and has a little look around and really doesn't see a whole lot more than he's already seen. So it's going to be about scans. And there is an observer around. There should be... Well, was there an observer around? There should be. Yeah, there you go. There we go. He's at the front. So he should be able to deal with this. Huh. How things turn. Boosts on him. The units are slightly out of position to deal with it to start things off. Going to control the ramp here, but he's dropping those Widow Mines in a position where the Oracle can even see them. Photon Overcharge activates and tries to kill off one of those, and he's trying to get forward. Oh, that was a nice snipe out there with that one Stalker to actually get that Widow Mine, but he did lose the Stalker in the process, which is kind of irritating, and he's ferried up all the Marines onto that high ground again from the low ground, and he was looking to go for that pincer move with. Dark Templars in this mineral line, though. This engineering bay didn't really finish up too long ago. So, a few deaths here and there. How much can these Marines do, though? They're against Stalkers. There's 2 Prime Stalkers there to be able to pick off. Juicy, but then it gets out of there once again. Sentry trying to do what it can. That Sentry actually almost killed that Minivac. And finally, second DT will get cleaned up. So 35 workers against 50. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not great for our Terran. And this is the one proper opportunity that GunGFuBanDa has had to really push himself forwards in this series. As for now, we have that Robo Bay and 3 extra gateways going down. He may follow this up with just a Colossus push with Blink, just straight go down the line, but he's got a 3rd base on the way. All right, I didn't see that probe going down. And he has plenty of probes to actually start saturating that third base as well when it gets up and running. So we've seen him do those 2 base timings in the past, 2 base plays in the past. But at the moment, doesn't look like that's going to be the case. He's looking to play it out a little bit longer. Who is the most favored in this matchup? I would say HeRoMaRinE, definitely. GunGFuBanDa has had more success on the international stage than HeRoMaRinE, but in the German scene, HeRoMaRinE is a pain. He is a menace. Depends on the bribe, lol. Wah, wah. But yeah, I'd say that they're pretty evenly matched. Maybe not GunGFuBanDa in this. Like, if it was a Protoss versus Protoss, I would certainly say GunGFuBanDa here in the German scene has the advantage. But, well, regardless, whatever. So. What's it gonna be? Marine has to... At the moment, he's like neck and neck in terms of production, which is okay. But he doesn't have a third command center. He's going to have to like build a third command center on spot or just use these 5 barracks as a huge pushing power to end this game soon. Stim is about to finish. If he can trade against the Colossus when it doesn't have that many gateway units next to it, then maybe that will be cool. But not sure whether that's going to work, to be perfectly honest with you. He's got force fields. He's got quite a few force fields in those 2 sentries. And we heard another Dark Templar actually warping in there. Where was it? Somewhere. And yeah, I think that was HeRoMaRiNE's last-ditch effort to try and win. He wanted to get on top of the Colossi, didn't work out. And that was a sorry sight of an engagement, unfortunately, there for HeRoMaRiNE. I was a little bit bemused as to why he really wanted to take that fight. But as I said before, it kind of makes sense with the 5 barracks and lack of third command center that he just wants to fight now and try and break through. Widowmines are going to come forwards as well with this army, but it's not enough to actually power down what we're seeing here from GunGFuBanDa. And now, Mr. Banda is set up beautifully in a lovely fashion, in lovely ways. Oh, ow, ow, my neck, my neck. Sorry, I caught myself on my wire. Okay, so. For now, GunGFuBanDa can just sit back on his 3 bases and be totally happy. There is no reason in the slightest that GunGFuBanDa needs to move out. As all he has to do is sit and defend across the 3 bases. He knows that his opponent does not have a 3rd base down in the northern location. Maybe not necessarily down towards the bottom here, just below this main base, as our German observers are looking at it currently. But I suspect Marine, after this starport finishes up, is just going to make a lot of Vikings and try and kill his opponent. I'm not sure whether it's going to work, I'll be honest. Unless, for example, we've seen this a few times actually in this matchup, you try and draw your opponent's stalkers out of the way by trying to threaten Doom Drop, and the Vikings come in without any anti-air next to them, and then they just get picked off one by one by one. It's a pretty advanced move, a pretty advanced tactic. He's actually going to go try and snipe this Nexus here. Loses a few of his units down towards the bottom, actually probably through friendly fire than anything. Gets himself the Nexus, and is going to have to dart on out of here. There's the focus fire from some of the Stalkers to try and pick off the medevac so these units can't get out as easily as they would like. But that was a great move by HeRoMaRinE. Possibly going to get him back in this game. Possibly. Because now, there are a lot of Vikings in production. Doesn't have to take this fight though, does HeRoMaRinE? I don't know, I'm not sure why he's taking this fight. He doesn't have Vikings with him. He lost a lot of units there. GunGFuBanDa was more than willing to accept that challenge. And now he just has to back off. These 4 Widowmines. He doesn't have an observer. Did he not have an observer for that? That's excruciating. All he has to do now is make Vikings. A lot of Vikings. Plow them down the throat of this army. There's only 11 Stalkers there available. These Widowmines decided to get really cheeky and walk up here. Oh, one killed a probe and the Stalkers blinked back. Let's see. A few extra Vikings on the way. He's going to have a really, really good swell of Vikings here. And getting that Nexus was just what HeRoMaRinE wanted to stop the equal swell of his opponent's army on the other side. Still only 12 Stalkers against 10 Vikings. This might be where he pulls SCVs. Is he really going to fly over to this third base and just try and continue on? I guess he could because the economical damage that he's done. It's like there's two sides to like these choices that you can make, right? You can either say, right, I've done economical damage. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up at all. Okay, let's go. Let's power forwards. I think I've got enough Vikings to bring down these Colossi before the engagement properly incurs. Or you say, okay, I've done enough economical damage. Now this allows me to play on level pegging. Now this allows me to play from the position that I was put behind before. And it looks like Marine has chosen the latter. But how long will that last for? +3 armor is rapidly approaching here for GunGFuBanDa. Ideally, he would like to have a tech lab come down, but here come the SCVs with this. And it's as I kind of thought, but just in a really weird way. For some reason, he was claiming his third base, and I assumed that this fight was going to be the one that he was going to take before. Lots of cannons going down. He knows this is coming. He saw it with the Dark Templar. And that is so many Vikings. I'm not sure that those Stalkers can do what they need to before the Vikings get the job done. He doesn't need to move in with this Bioforce down towards the bottom. One for Colossus is going to fall already. And the Vikings are just on home for Colossi. But they're just losing a few of their numbers at the moment. He gets up the ramp, though, as the Mothership core will end up falling. Second Colossus dies, and they are dying so quickly. But he's done so much damage to the ground force as well. There's not that much AoE, though. Still a lot of bio left. I think the numbers are made up for in the probes here for GunGFuBanDa. I think HeRoMaRinE's army is much bigger. Yeah, about 30 supplies worth. As he will be able to sack this base once again. So bringing down that probe count, but it's not really winning him the war at the moment. He needed to really take the engagement, I feel. He's banking on the fact that these mules can do him quite a bit of work. Get some more reinforcements out there. They will be able to shut down the small little engagement that goes on. Actually landing his Vikings. I think he's going to go for it soon. Knowing his opponent's army is weak, why on earth not? There's not that much anti-air, not that much AoE damage here available to GunGFuBanDa. And he's only making immortals. Knowing that the Viking number was vast, only making immortals, trying to shut this down. Stims up, though. Those gateway units alone are not going to have the easiest time against this, especially since they're kind of pinned in between that ramp, as well as this Nexus and Pylon to the right-hand side. As HeRoMaRinE biding his time. Doesn't have that much economy himself, but he knows likewise, nor does GunGFuBanDa. If he sees a Colossus, can easily just raise those Vikings up into the air and start pushing on forwards. Another Colossus is on the way. GunGFuBanDa realizes that those Vikings have landed and needs some AoE. Absolutely cries for some AoE at the moment. Does he have energy for scans? He doesn't have any energy for scans. There we go. Ninthly cleans that up again. He's really not willing to go up that ramp. Kills off a little bit of the production. There's no third base here for GunGFuBanDa, whilst HeRoMaRinE is mining from a third base and macroing up. The important thing here is that he needs to make sure that he has Viking numbers available when he goes up against the remaining force and Colossi here that GunGFuBanDa is going to have. Phew, tense moments there. HeRoMaRinE potentially could have won it all there. Potentially could have won, but he doesn't want to risk the play. He doesn't want to risk walking up that ramp and losing his entire army. All right, let's see. So, another Nexus is going to go down. GunGFuBanDa has to try and play this out. He's been stuck at 108 supply for a while now, starting some pylons, but this might be another great window here for HeRoMaRinE to hit. He's sending an army down to the left-hand side, and he's being drawn way out of position because he's going to force the cancellation of that Nexus. And HeRoMaRinE 100% knows that HeRoMaRiNE, it was in such a bad position at the beginning of this game. It was 50 workers to 35, but he has brought this back to a very, very winnable position. Like, for me right now, this is 90-10. 90% to 10%. Strong play so far. As all he has to do is really hit before that Templar Archives is up and running. And if he does, there's not much more room here for GunGFuBanDa. Loaded up quite a bit. Look to try and drop into the main base, maybe. Does he have? Okay, so the problem is that he never continued Viking production. And I don't know how many Vikings he has right now, but I think there's maybe 3 Colossi out, with a 4th on the way. And if there is that many Colossi, he's going to have to be mindful of his Vikings. He really doesn't have that many. Now he starts them back up. And that's something that he lost to against Mana in his WCS Challenger run. A little bit supply blocked again, though. Half the Harvesters, despite being 50 supply up at the moment. So if you think about that, you know, it's 30 extra supply in army that he is the difference. Actually, no, it's even 70. What am I looking at? I'm doing the reverse. Jeez. His army supply is huge at the moment. The Vikings engage the Colossus on the left-hand side already. But again, he's got to be careful of the Colossi on the right. There's a 4th one. Oh, but this huge army unloading in the main base. It's just going to go straight in and snipe any production facilities. Gets a Nexus. It doesn't even really matter about the Nexus. Just get everything else. There's no more mining going on here. But HeRoMaRiNE is playing this safe, steady, and well-paced because he knows his opponent is bleeding out. He doesn't need to take a direct engagement. All he has to do is run circles around him. Beautiful stuff there by HeRoMaRiNE, who is going to max out and go up against a GunGFuBanDa that's trying desperately to get Storm finished. Storm is his one key. His one last opportunity to keep himself alive here in the ESL Meisterschaft. And I'll keep saying it like that. So Storm. But will HeRoMaRiNE go before that even occurs? 162 army supply for HeRoMaRiNE at the moment. Because he just has such minimal workers. He's been working off this one base now for quite a while. It's funny because his natural isn't even mined out, but he just abandoned it for larger prospects. Thank you, Anti, for your brilliant analysis in chat. As once again, we have a big, big load up here from HeRoMaRiNE. Let's see if this can end the game. He could just fight. He could charge in, fight, drop everything across him. This is a massive Doom drop once again into the main base. And this army could get completely sandwiched. I'm not even sure he has enough to fight half his opponent's army. Never mind the full thing. There's once again Zeratul going to work. Tassadar drops his storms. That was for you, Anti. And I think Jimmy Rayner in the main base is going to be able to kill off everything else. You know, it's funny because GunGFuBanDa actually traded pretty well there as those fights unfolded. But he still has a bigger army. If he rallies everything together like he has now, I'm not sure how our Protoss brethren is going to be able to hold on against that. That's way too much biopower. And again, it's the worker disparity that is like misleading in the supplies as you can see them. The Colossus has fallen. There's no AoE here at all. It's going to be up to Dark Templars alone to try and work this out. But not even Zeratul himself can do that much damage. These Dark Templars basically walking to their deaths at the moment. I don't think he has energy for a scan, so he's going to have to back off for a little bit. There's no way, surely no way GunGFuBanDa can get himself back into this game. This army's too much. HeRoMaRinE has to be less cautious. He naturally has to go very soon because GunGFuBanDa's economy is back up and running and would be even more so back up and running if he takes the bottom left corner. But HeRoMaRinE now is I don't want to go even as far as patient, because now he's just wasting time. He needs to go with this army. He needs to kill his opponent. He needs to know that it's not very big. He could have gone before when there wasn't that many High Templars, when they didn't really have Storm, but now they may have bought up energy for Storms here. And he's got to be so careful with this army because of the potential Storms that do lay. And that's one of them. Does pretty well for itself, but all he has to do is split up these units, separate them forwards a little bit, and look for the crushing blow. But he's not finding it. There's too much bio. Another good Storm, though. I said before, Storms are the way back into this game, and if HeRoMaRinE loses this one, that's ridiculous. Oh, Marine. Oh, Marine. Unbelievable. You've let GunGFuBanDa back into this one now. He was so scared of the Storms. And any good Terran can be scared of the Storms. And he's given his opponent too much time. Way too much time. GunGFuBanDa is back up and running. He doesn't quite have the gas that he wants, needs to get that rolling again. But now, HeRoMaRinE needs to show glimmers of brilliance. There's going to be a lot of energy for Storms. Doom drop into the main base. It's not even doing that much if he goes for it. It's getting a few gateways, which isn't bad. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. If he does that. And he's allowing Colossi to be produced again as well. I don't think that he's going to have, HeRoMaRinE is going to have the production capabilities here to continue forwards with the Vikings that he needs, with the Ghosts that he needs. It's all extremely expensive. This one Marine is going to walk it. What? What? You can hear the German crowd. Good job, mate. Well done. You can be Jimmy. You can be Jimmy. Wow. Useless Dark Templar. You are useless. All right, so he's got another base up to the top right-hand side. So he's migrating his command centers everywhere to try and get his economy in a stable position. While GunGFuBanDa is now rolling away with it. It's going to be very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Oh, well. I don't know what to make of this anymore. This has been a really strange game. Very, very strange. As we are at the 36-minute mark, and only just have fourth bases really been claimed. So I wouldn't be surprised if this gets forced to a game number 4. HeRoMaRinE, as I said, needs to show some spark of brilliance, something to deal with this. Zealot harassment doing well, drawing this army out of position. He might look to launch himself towards that third base. That being said, though, the Terran army was there briefly. Storms some of those SCVs. But he has Ghosts. If EMPs land, we're back to that good old dance of EMP versus Storm. And if it hits, God save us all. All right, it's going to push away the third base. Good moves here by our resident Panda. But there's only 2 Vikings against 3 Colossi. My head explodes. this is not going to be a similar. It's going to be a similar way to how he lost against Mana in WCS. Starting another Viking, doesn't really have the money for it. Really needs to get gases on his 4th base so that he can actually have money to build these Vikings where he needs it. Oh dear, dear, dear. Is this really happening? Is this real life? Is this just fantasy? Okay. More Colossi. More Colossi. He needs more Vikings! A High Templar for a Marine. Not the best. And, oh dear me! Oh god. Alright, alright. Avert your eyes. GG. Oh, GunGFuBanDa decides to land storm after storm and will be able to take game number 3. What a bizarre game number 3 that was. As looks like GunGFuBanDa might need a break here. That was very, very close. He could have died. He could have died. Alas, he did not. So good stuff there by GunGFuBanDa to keep himself alive. For me, personally, that was more of a Marine throw than a GunGFuBanDa win. Marine had some great presence and some great plays there in the mid-game, but I just don't know how that spiraled out of control. I guess, again, you know, to reiterate what I said mid-cast, afraid of the storms. Anything else would have just not made sense. And HeRoMaRinE, got to be kicking himself for that one. Got to be kicking himself. So, tough stuff. Tough stuff. I think our players here for a moment will be taking a small break. We'll find out in a moment. But that was not the game HeRoMaRinE had planned for. And the thing is that, you know, going through 3-0 would have been so much better for him, so much better. Now, you know, you don't want to be doubting anything at all. You don't want to be doubting yourself when you go into those kinds of games. HeRoMaRinE's not so much one to really deal with pressure, not one really to deal with going on tilt or anything. I have known HeRoMaRinE ever since he joined the Mouse Spots at the very beginning. And I was actually one of the first people to do a show with HeRoMaRinE, as him and I, we did a show way, way back called Mousetrap, back when I was on Mouse Spots as well, where he knew very little English, and maybe was a little bit afraid of using his English, but now he's very good at it. And back then, it was tough. It was, whoa, what happened? Oh, okay, it's back. Nowadays, though, he is a chatty guy and doing okay. GunGFuBanDa, I haven't really spoken to him too much, actually. Don't know him too well. But he's certainly one of the new bloods of StarCraft who is rising up the ranks. He's been here for a while, of course, don't get me wrong. I mean, whenever we speak about the new blood coming into StarCraft, they've been there for a while because they have to be to have that skill level that they're at the moment. But that game was rough. Rough, rough, rough. With a capital R. All right, so soon we'll be going on to game number 4, as GunGFuBanDa looks to be spamming away already. Getting into the next game. Those glasses, though. All right, game 4. Marine leads 2-1 at the moment. And some would argue should be 3-0 here in this series, as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner. It is our blue Protoss. Wiggle, wiggle. It is GunGFuBanDa for Team Planet Key Dynamics. I would tie it up with the German stream, but apparently they're just wiggling about and doing stuff. There we go, it's Banda! All right. And then up to the top left-hand corner, we have our red Terran representing Team Mouse Sports. It is HeRoMaRinE. Cool guy. They're 17 years of age and looking to propel themselves forward in their StarCraft careers as they venture forth from nationals to international here at StarCraft Universe. All right. Alrighty, what time is it, potatoes? It's 8:41 p.m. here in CEST. Yes, HeRoMaRinE. Some would call him a prodigy of Terran aggression here in the German scene. The GunGFuBanDa has been able to mix it up quite well and somehow be sturdy and hold strong in the face of adversity. Again, guys, huge thank you for tuning in for the ESL Meisterschaft. Hashtags those Meisterschafts, guys. It's all about hashtagging that Meisterschaft here for the ESL Meisterschaft. So, interesting. Gonna send out a scout pretty early. Is that a command center first? It is a command center first. How devious of you, HeRoMaRinE, on a map such as this. Would have been funny if he just guided left with that probe, but alas, he's going to scout clockwise because that's what most players do. If you're a player of StarCraft, scout anti-clockwise to shake things up a bit. Earl Grey. Oh yes. You've got a name and a half, my friend. I'm going to have some Earl Grey tea when I get home later. Because obviously we buy that as quickly as possible here when we go away from Britain. No, I did not say that word, Zolido. I said Meisterschaft. That's what I said. All right. Game sound, can you not hear the game sound? Is it quite low? Let me bump that up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear. Hopefully it's fine. Okay, so. Yeah, the colors are wrong on the overlay, unfortunately, guys. Apologies for that. Not much I can do about it. Between the 2 and the 1. Another pylon down to the bottom left-hand corner here for GunGFuBanDa. And that's more likely to be the Stargate even, I should say. And yes, it will be. So, interesting stuff. That probe on rally down here. Again, you know, I was mentioning before that sometimes you don't move the probe when you make the Twilight Council, so that you can then make the Dark Shrine down there as well. But here, he's left it down here just in case there was to be a scout. You don't want your probe to be seen from coming from an obscure direction. And when you've committed that far into the map, and you don't want anything, for any reason, spotting that probe coming from that kind of path. Thank you very much, Jukor. And I am casting, but I am not observing. I am just going off the German stream, basically. I'm going off the clean feed of their stream. Makes things a little easier for me when I'm producing upstairs alone. So, Forge is on the way with Oracle as well. And if he underestimates the power of this Oracle, or even underestimates its presence entirely, then he is going to get burned. But, no, he's not going to have. Okay, so Marines are present in the right locations in this natural mineral line here, which can be pre-react to. Loses 2 SCVs already. Let's see if... Nope, not going to fly in. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. So he's fine. He's fine for now. And those Marines have bought time for the missile turrets to start up, get going, and stuff like that, which is where he needs to be. Anything else is just nigh on useless in comparison. Now, very, very good players can find holes with these Oracles, such as Mr. Wing Commander from Intel Extreme Masters, of course. But I don't think we're going to see much more here. I don't think he can find much more room. We could use some help here. So maybe just using them for later on. They can be very useful to... I mean, even in the positions that they are in now, if you look towards the minimap and look in the top left-hand corner of the minimap, the Oracle down towards the bottom of the Terran base and the Oracle towards the right of the Terran base are good for keeping vision, just in case a medevac wants to try and sneak out anywhere. Very useful. If you keep them alive, 6 health, jeez. Dicing with death. And all the tech for all the people coming in. Our German observers highlighting this small little creation here, messing with some billboards and making sure that they're all okay. Nice little doodad as we go back over to it now, and the Oracle is saying hi to its brother that's repairing that small maintenance facility. Yes, it is a best of 5, Mr. Earl Grey. As we do have that Robo Bay coming in now here for GunGFuBanDa. This is a map that is pretty much a pain in the bum to actually take a 3rd base on. So we may see him go for a 2-base play, a 2-base assault. Could do here with the Robo Bay if he wants to try and really wind things up a bit. Blink on the way. Not producing any more probes at the moment, and I'm wondering how many he's on right now. Okay, the movement out does not have a Colossus just yet. It's going to be about the Mothership core. It's going to be about Photon Overcharge here on this Nexus at the front. If that can hold off with the small amount of units he has, maybe some force fields to buy time, then he should be okay. I think he picked up, though. He picked up 2 of the Medivacs, and he's going to go down to another angle here to try and assault, but there is a perimeter down towards the right-hand side here created by our Protoss. And even drops a revelation on some of those. So already that has been spotted. The Medivacs try and pull back, but I'm just going to drop on that pylon to the right-hand side. Can't really go for that. And the War Prism actually unloaded some Zealots in the main base as well. In the main base as well. In the main base as well. All right, there we go. In the main base as well. Sorry, I'm basically just casting off the mini-map because screw it. As this small little army is going to end up once again being revelated and being spotted. Ooh, 2 Widow Mines. Ooh, sneaky, sneaky. Warps in some units. Photon Overcharge has been activated, but you can't clean up those Widow Mines before they end up burrowing. And they get themselves a few kills. Not many. So 3rd base is on the way here for GunGFuBanDa. Whilst also Marine is flying his 3rd base over in an aggressive manner, in an aggressive direction so that he can not only defend, but also attack. Our observer is take. I think the Germans take is observing. I'm just trolling when I do these kinds of things. You know, it can be sometimes hard for you to catch everything when you're observing. I don't do too badly when I'm observing myself, but it makes it a whole lot easier for me to just cast and produce instead of do all 3 at the same time. So in the main base now, we have Zealots actually working away at that missile turret, which could open up the potential of a Dark Templar warp in later on, which would be very, very nice as a good follow-up. These Colossi, uh-oh, they're way out of position. He should dive onto those. Oh, but he's going to go straight into the main base. And I think he does realize that that is coming. But how much can he really do with this? He hallucinates a Colossus. Will this put him into a bad spot? I don't think so. He realizes it's a hallucination very, very quickly. 3 Colossi coming from the left-hand side here. Can they do much damage? And they will chew away at some of this bio, but he's going to have to pick up and get out of there. As, oh, he finds himself that 3rd base again with some Marauders. Really good little stretching tactic here from HeRoMaRinE. Looks like he hasn't been faced too much at all by that 3rd game that we just saw. Drops everything off, gets that 3rd base. Great pickup there from HeRoMaRinE. And he can just dart on out if he wants to. No. 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 Run away. Brilliant commentary here, brought to you by Kyle Harris. No. No. I'm stupid. All right, so Zealots and Immortal on the way, as well as Templar Archives in the 3rd base. If HeRoMaRinE hits with the production that he has again, he should be totally fine. He should be able to chew up any army that comes along. Because his economy is so strong, because Storm won't be started for at least another 20 seconds. The window is large. But, did he have a second starport? How many Vikings is he making? He's got 7 out at the moment, and he's making 3. Okay, so he does have a second starport, but maybe not with the second reactor. So, just 3 at a time. So he's going up against... he really wants to hit before this... he really should hit before Storm. If he doesn't, then this game could just play out long again, and he could just straight up lose it. So maybe wait for like 13 Vikings and then go. And then just pile on through. But again, you know, what's important to understand as well is whilst we watch this, it's not that easy for the players to gauge how much power their opponent has behind their army. But the second reactor is actually done here on the starport. Maybe he just missed one of the Vikings in terms of production. He's got 10 Vikings at the moment. Storm is just about to finish though. Chrono Boost was profusely pushed into that Storm. And now that is the key that GunGFuBanDa needs to actually hold on against this. It is unlocked. Power. Power behind the High Templars. Marine seems to know that he can't venture on forwards. And he is going to pull back and play this out longer. Oh. Sends a small squad forwards, looking to bait out Storms or get himself a High Templar kill. Doesn't quite get one. Zealots harass him. Pylons to the left of this map as well as up to the north. And we'll see how much this is really going to do. 3 ghosts. They could buy himself a little bit of time here again. That might be the key that he needs here. But he's allowed GunGFuBanDa to actually max out almost. Only +1 weapons is not even done here for Protoss. It's all about the armor at the moment. These Storms are do or die here for GunGFuBanDa. Sends 2 High Templars forwards. Tries to land the Storms. Doesn't really do a whole amount with that. Storm lands again. Trying to get himself Viking. Blinks on forwards. Gets himself 1. Drops the scan again. Sees the positioning of the High Templars. Gonna try and loop around, maybe with the Ghost onto the high ground. Try and shoot an EMP. Hits some of those High Templars at the front with an EMP. Another one hits some of the Stalkers at the front. I think he still has some High Templars in there that have some energy. Stims up his whole army and looks for the pursuit on forwards. Not that many Storms left over. Maybe 2 or 3. But that time warp, if he lands Storms in that, and he does quite a lot of damage there too, HeRoMaRinE. GunGFuBanDa here on the warpath right now. In this best of 5. Wow, wow, wow. GunGFuBanDa looking to turn it around again here with Storm. Only 1 Colossus remains. Few Archons, but he has quite a bit of gas left over here for more High Templars. An ambitious 4th base down to the left here by HeRoMaRinE, who doesn't quite have the army supply to make up for it and defend it. He's gone for the drop up towards the top. Looking to not only deny this base, but he was looking to get onto the production as well. This is going to force a reaction out of GunGFuBanDa. Going straight down into the natural now. Some of those units are going to be bottled up. It looks like HeRoMaRinE has to fall back and defend. Needs to get back to the majority of his forces up to the top. Does not want any kind of those ghosts to end up dying. That force field, unfortunately for him, did not catch the units where he wanted it to. And he's even been able to find this base. It is a planetary fortress, though. Hard to break. Especially without heightened Colossus numbers. That Colossus is going to fall down. How much AoE damage does he actually have? Not that many High Templars left over with Storm capabilities. Only this one down to the south here. There are a few more. Snipe went down on one of them. And HeRoMaRinE choking up a lot of these Zealots up towards the top. Lands his Vikings, knowing that there isn't that many Colossi at the moment, but may need them later. We saw how he fell back, or fell behind in those numbers earlier in the series, in the previous game. As for now, a cannon even being added on, just in case those ghosts try and stray forwards in cloak. Tried to, gets himself another EMP on 2 of the High Templars. Down towards the back, there's another 2 there that are available and ready. How much can these Zealots do at the front? There's reinforcements coming from the left-hand side as well here from HeRoMaRinE. As he's moved back towards the mineral line, he's choking up quite a few of those Zealots, but there's still not enough army here for Marine just yet. But he is dividing and conquering, and I think he might be able to do this, actually, with the Colossus vulnerable. There's another Storm. A second Storm is able to kill off a lot of the bio on the left-hand side. Dead even at the moment in terms of supplies, as GunGFuBanDa trying to reinforce from the pylon close to him, down to the bottom right-hand side. Has to evacuate the SCVs out from this third base. Big Widow Mine hit actually catches a few of those Zealots, even does a little bit of splash damage there to the SCVs. But now he's got to come back. He's got to move away. As the Zealots try and chase on forwards, HeRoMaRinE has very little units left available to him. More Colossi. Now move forwards here for GunGFuBanDa. He smells blood in the water. As he's going to have to rival not too big a force. He sees these SCVs are moving up towards that fourth base. And GunGFuBanDa, if he gets EMP'd, that could be it. It's all about the storms. But he can't quite easily poke forwards now that those cannons are there. Pretty irritating here for the Terran. Maybe picking up and looking for an alternate angle to try and fight into. Or even just going for the big drop anyway. Regardless of what he does with this, once this gets broken back here, that's all the income that we're going to see plummeting down the drain here for him. The Planetary Fortress does fall. And he's going to get himself a Colossus here. Free Colossus for pretty much nothing. Gets himself one Marine for that. That's a brilliant trade there for HeRoMaRinE, trying to keep himself in this game. It looks almost as if he's committed fully to the base trade here. Even brought some SCVs with this. Why on earth not? They fit in the medevacs just fine. The entire army moving back now to try and deal with it. Didn't have a mothership core. Didn't have the ability to actually recall back. But if it kills off this base, then maybe he can do more. Another Nexus has gone down below all of this, though. So despite him getting that base and sacrificing a few SCVs, this base down to the bottom right-hand corner is going to be okay. He's bringing SCVs as well. I think he's just going over to the third base here to start mining once again. But I'm not sure how GunGFuBanDa loses this one now. How are the High Templars doing for energy? That's the big question. If EMPs land, then great. But there's only 2 Vikings to rival 3 Colossi at the moment. The army is waning for HeRoMaRinE. Positioning himself again. Needs to get his economy up and running. Needs himself some minerals here. Just any kind of mineral investment that he can grab. Anything at all is going to fuel him higher and higher. Needs Vikings, knows he does. But Protoss has that 4th base down to the bottom right. The year is 2005. There you go, I've added validity to your We Are Historians argument in chat. As HeRoMaRinE, 10 years ago, would have been 7 years old. EMPs hit, but how much did they hit is the big question. I think they at least got themselves 1 High Templar there. There are still 3 left available, though, with some energy. Good feedbacks there on the Ghosts. Very, very valuable and expensive here for HeRoMaRinE, who really doesn't have much opportunity or chance to replenish those kinds of units. Another load up. Where is he even going to go? I think he dropped the scan down to the bottom right. Oh no, he drops it on the main army. But regardless, he needs to know that both of those bases are mining down to the bottom right as well. The lifeblood here is certainly true for GunGFuBanDa. Those 5 High Templars, if he could hit those with an EMP or something, but they're now split up. GunGFuBanDa's not going to allow that to happen anytime soon. Gets himself 1 High Templar for around 4 or 5 Marines. Drops the scan again. Here comes the push out from Protoss. That's a big, big concave we've got set up for Terran, but I don't know if it's going to be enough at all. Vikings going to work on these Colossi. The High Templars are coming in from the back. And even without those High Templars, I think it's going to be enough anyway, as the Zealots were able to mince up everything on the right-hand side. Now moving over towards the left. Their Bio Army at the high ground has sat around there and is trying to hold on strong. Now charging down towards the low ground here to try and fight off against these, but the High Templars will continue to rain storms down, as HeRoMaRinE has very little juice left in him, unfortunately, for Terran fans out there. Whereas GunGFuBanDa is running a home with this one. This is another Colossus. Still doesn't have that much bio. Needs to dance out of everything. Feedbacks galore as well as storms are going to put the finishing touches on this one. 2-2 here at the ESL Meisterschaft, as GunGFuBanDa is able to tie up this best-of-5 series and try to propel himself forwards into the grand final, putting our HeRoMaRinE, our favorite here of the ESL Meisterschaft, under threat, under danger. He is a one-time EPS champion in the past. As what on earth just happened? What? That's not true. Okay, let's switch back to me for now whilst Hearthstone continues on that thing for some reason. Let me just tell people that. Okay, so hopefully Mr. Edward can sort us out. Ah! Okay, so we'll just mute Hearthstone for now. Okay, so hopefully that'll be sorted out pretty soon, guys. A huge thank you for joining me at the ESL Meisterschaft. We're going to go on a short break whilst we try and fix these technical issues from the clean feed here, because for some reason the Hearthstone just came back on even though it's finished. So that is just a pure recording. So we'll be right back after this small break, guys. Don't go anywhere before game number 5 between HeRoMaRinE and GunGFuBanDa. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ESL Meisterschaft. As we do have GunGFuBanDa been able to tie up the series 2-2 now in this best of 5. And who was expecting that? After the games that we had here, who was expecting that? Now, he only has to win one more to advance on to the final. And we will find out who is going to be going up against Lambo. Who is going up against Lambo? Alrighty then. So, Marine, for me, in this series, he was really on the verge of taking this 3-0. I'm a little bit surprised at how this has all gone down. But in the end, GunGFuBanDa clawed it back. I'm not even sure what map we're going on to just yet. Once it appears, we will know. But a huge thank you for joining us here for the ESL Meisterschaft. As the games have been pretty fun so far. If you're just tuning in now, of course, we've already had one best of 5. As Lambo was able to defeat Goody in the other side of the bracket. But now it's game number 5. Here, let's jump right on in. Cactus Valley once again is our deciding map. As we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner, it is our red Terran. It's an ever-shakeable HeRoMaRinE. Down to the bottom left-hand corner, able to bring back the last 2 games. Will he go the triple? Will he go the full hat trick? It is Team Planet Key Dynamics, GunGFuBanDa. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Okay. Let's figure this one out together, guys. Cross positions on Cactus Valley. There is the high potential that this one could go on for the long haul. But Marine has died 2 games in a row, especially in that first one, to Storm later on in the game. Whereas his previous success has come from being just more aggressive before that would happen. Surely, logic would dictate that from here, HeRoMaRinE would go into a more aggressive situation and try and finish off his opponent quickly. Well, for now, let's find out. It would be a little bit devastating for HeRoMaRinE if he was to be eliminated at this phase in the ESL Meisterschaft. As in the Pro Series before, as I said, he's been in the final all 3 times. In the past 3. That's a year's worth of EPS. A year's worth. I wonder if he's... No, okay. Oh, he's been in the last 4. No. Okay, wait. Hold the phone. So he wasn't in Spring 2014 because it was Showtime and Patience. He was in 3 out of the previous 4. There you go. Let me get my facts right. 2-time champion of the EPS. To give you a bit of an indication as to how dominant HeRoMaRinE and Showtime have been in the past 4 seasons. It was HeRoMaRinE, Showtime, HeRoMaRinE, Showtime as our past 4 champions. And now, that pattern would say, it's probably HeRoMaRinE's time again. In every single one of those, in his victories, he's beaten a Protoss. will see Stargate once again. Not exactly in a proxy location, but just on the outskirts of his main base, so it's not exactly the most aggressive of positions. HeRoMaRinE is immune to logic. Yeah, really hot guy, I know. Not so many viewers today, obviously, because the DreamHack is going on at the moment as well, so not to worry, though. All fine. As for now, Oracle is in production, but the Oracle is timed out in such a manner that the engineering bay will finish up. Marines will buy a little bit of time for the missile turrets to be out and about, and he should be able to shoo it away. Listening to Piano Man makes this 100% better. I don't even know who Piano Man is. Who's Piano Man? Oh well. WidowMine actually in production as well, so maybe go for the drops. It's very, very far away though, as this Oracle does a little loop-de-loop and doesn't really go in just yet. Now he does though. Ooh, a Phoenix is following this up for GunGFuBanDa. So this is his absolute go-to build for this map and this matchup. It has to be. If he advances from this, he doesn't have to deal with another Terran. It's a Zerg in the next round in the final. So it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. His Phoenix are now on the way once again. Interesting little change up here to add the Phoenix. The cool thing about it is that he knows his he knows that his opponent has been very, very active about trying to go for drops in the past couple of games. So this is a great little method of him trying to shut all of this down. Porous Marines pop out right in the bad spot. And actually, no, because there's so many of them, they do shoot them away. Didn't even see the ones down to the bottom because they weren't shown on the screen. So 3 Phoenix. If they find a medevac, they can kill it, no problem. Super fast. Like that, like that. Click. Maybe not quite like that, but near enough. And even just on patrol down towards his opponent's third to AB, end up spotting it. But here comes the medevac now into the main base. Down to the bottom left. It's going into the main base, gets shooed away, picks up the Widow Mine before it even burrows. So Phoenix for anticipating a Widow Mine follow-up, or a Widow Mine push, are brilliant. Look at how expensive that was for HeRoMaRinE, having done nothing with it at all. Also, third command center being added on. So HeRoMaRinE has got to bring out his best game as well. His total A game here in this last game between him and GunGFuBanDa. As I said before, for me, I feel the winner is coming out of this game. The winner of the whole tournament is coming out of this game up against Lambo. But Lambo was able to defeat GunGFuBanDa in the round of 8 to get to the position he's in right now. So anything can happen. So don't listen to my predictions. Alright, it's quite the force moving out towards the middle. Because he's committed to the Stargate as well as the Phoenix, he didn't quite have the robo facility at the timing that he exactly wanted it. But on a big map like this, it doesn't matter as much, because those units would have quite a long way to actually run across the entirety of the map. They've only just breached the halfway point, and they're not even there before the first Colossus actually is added onto this composition. Also, if he tries to go for a drop into the back, obviously, he does have those Phoenix available if they end up going too far. So he's well set up here, is GunGFuBanDa, and I think he found the medevacs already. Ooh, the Phoenix, they got very, very close to them, but didn't get any scratching damage. Alrighty. Drops a scan, sees these guys wherever they're going. Not too much more than that. And for now, double engineering bay behind this for HeRoMaRinE is very, very nice at this moment in time. He knows his opponent's only really upgrading into armor at the moment. GunGFuBanDa would have been in a slight misstep to try and go for double forge against a player as aggressive as HeRoMaRinE can be, and if he sniffs that out, and you are committing so much towards double forge as well as double upgrades, think about it. I mean, it's like extra 150 minerals for another forge, an extra 100 for the first upgrade if you really wanted to go down that way, and then it all adds up. It all adds up. It slows down things. It slows down other aspects if you want to be that greedy. Of course, they get finished, then brilliant, but oftentimes not the case if your Terran wants to get aggressive. Aggressive, as Mr. Wellmu would say. All right. Now here's the big test here for GunGFuBanDa. He knows everything got picked up. He sees that Widow Mine there. Pylon will be able to spot all of that. Where are those two going? How bizarre. I think he's trying to clean up pylons himself, but he's just gone right slightly out of position to actually spot that. Don't think he spotted the pylon on the left-hand side with the Medevacs. Oh, he's going to catch the Phoenix. Gets one of them at least, which is not too bad. Not too bad. If you can bring those numbers down a little bit to aid you in the pushes, should be all right. Okay. Templar Archives on the way again. This is where HeRoMaRinE really slowed down in momentum in the previous games. But we're getting to that supply again that I've mentioned before in this series. 165 army supply, 165 supply against 130-ish. HeRoMaRinE should have a good opportunity here to try and do some damage before Storm makes its appearance. How many Vikings does he have? Adding on an extra 3 more. Lots of upgrades on the way for him. He's really looking to play this out long. But if he is, he needs that Ghost Academy up and running. He needs to add on Ghosts soon. He has the Ghost Academy up towards the top in his main base. But where are the Ghosts? Personal cloaking for the Ghosts, I believe, is being researched. The Marines will find these Phoenix at the front. Kill off one of them, kill off a second. That opens up a little bit of the skies here for HeRoMaRinE as he runs into this choke point. Time Warp already gets thrown down, but GunGFuBanDa doesn't want any of that. He could just separate. He could separate himself across that choke point, send a few units down to the third base, and kill off the majority of what's going on there. But he decides not to. I don't think he realizes that the third base is down towards the bottom. I think he just scanned. No, he just scanned the army. Ah. He sent one Marine up towards the left-hand side. So he needs to know what's going on. All right, 3 Ghosts out with this army now. Drops a scan again. Sees this force where it is. He's looking to slowly move in here to try and find a good angle against this army. He separated himself up well again, but the Zealots on the left-hand side are actually cleaning up all that left flank that he was trying to set up. So not exactly the greatest of moves there by HeRoMaRinE. In theory and practice, it's kind of cool, but needs more Ghosts over. Storms are the big deal once again. Nice feedbacks there by GunGFuBanDa. Able to catch 2 of those Ghosts at the very, very beginning of this. HeRoMaRinE really wasn't anticipating that. GunGFuBanDa plummeting in supply. The replenishment power behind all of this for Marine is real. He's coming in with some of the Ghosts on the right-hand side, actually. They are cloaked up. I don't think he can see them if he could get the High Templar, and he does. Oh, this is a brilliant engagement. A good fallback there by HeRoMaRinE. Despite having those feedbacks hit him at the very beginning of all of this, he now has a lot of power behind this army, rallying forwards once again, stimming the units across the map to try and finish off one last blow here against GunGFuBanDa, who looks to be taking huge amounts of damage. That just almost gave me a headache, but there you go. There you go, GG. HeRoMaRinE is able to advance on here to the grand final once again. in the ESL Meisterschaft German nationals. So congratulations to him for moving on to the final. That means we will have a TVZ final between HeRoMaRinE and Lambo. Two very young talents here in the scene and looking to do well for themselves. That means now I am going to go to a short break. We shall watch the German stream briefly, and then when we are back fully, we shall get into our grand final here, which will be, of course, HeRoMaRinE going up against Lambo. So don't go anywhere, guys. Brief moment whilst we watch our German stream, our German friends downstairs, and we'll be right back.